What's up, guys? I'm Nick,
I'm Neil.
and welcome to our first podcast.
Today we're just going to be introducing ourselves, letting you guys know what you could expect listening to our podcast in the future.
hmm And we wanted to start off basically talking about the educational system and how that, you know, developed us as people and how it formed our opinions about society.
Right. It kind of instilled us with our first set of beliefs, and almost into high school, middle school, and high school, it kind of just trains you to get ready for the workforce. Of course, it trains you for college, but even college, it just trains you to be ready for the workforce to basically sell your time for money.
To work for active income.
Right.
And they don't tell you that the way that the rich gets rich is by working for passive income.
Right, such as investments in real estate, stocks, owning your own business that works for you, having employees work for you.
Or technology.
Right, or technology.
And so, growing up, I felt like, and most people, I feel like, who don't understand everything that we just said, they think that the only alternative is to get either like a physical labor job. If
Right.
say college isn't for them, they're not really studious and they're not going to go be like a high level employee. They think that they could just do physical labor, sales, which is a good skill to have, or this is the route that Neil and I have gone. Is we realized we could develop skills and then go and bring them to the marketplace.
Yes.
To add value.
I actually started off, I was one of the people that didn't go to college, so I started off in the workforce. I was working for the post office until one day it was so physically just draining, like you would come home exhausted and all that, so one day I just literally quit. I couldn't take it anymore. I decided, that's when I started reading books. I read a emotional intelligence book, and I basically just literally woke up and decided one day I didn't want to trade my time for money anymore. I didn't want to kill myself working at the post office to make a decent living when I knew there was all these opportunities out there.
Yeah, definitely. If it wasn't for books and now the internet that allows you know information to change the way that you think about the world and how you act
Right.
in the world. Um, you know, the first biggest book for me was Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's what really opened up my mind for the first time because I saw the divide between the rich and the middle class and the poor.
Yeah, that was a great book for it.
Really great book. In this book, if you haven't really looked into it, basically he describes how there's four main ways to create uh, income in society. And like we said in the beginning of this podcast, school only sets you up to be in the first two quadrants, which are either employees or um, specialists or small business owners who are trading all of their time for money.
Right.
And then, like Neil said, um, there's the whole passive side to it, which, uh, you know, basically anybody could create passive income by, uh, you know, finding just something that they're passionate about and then sharing that with the world. By creating interesting content like what we're doing right now. To where they could build an audience around that and then go and uh, you know help them get products or services that they're actually interested in.
Yeah, like a big thing I'm into right now is affiliate marketing, where basically you pick a niche that you're interested in and build either a blog site or a video series about it. Something I'm into is mixed martial arts, so right now I'm developing a blog site for that, which I'm going to use for affiliate sales. Like you said, would you say you're going to start a car page around it?
Yeah. So, you know, I'm interested in cars and been in the car industry in a few of my jobs, and basically, you know, I've found a product that or a service that really provides a tremendous amount of value uh, for anybody who uses a car. And basically, it's how this is how it works. Like, Neil is building a brand around his passion, and there's tons of different products that he could throw in with that.
Right.
And I'm starting with an area that I'm passionate about. Maybe it's not what I'm most passionate about in particular, but it's a good way to start an income. And I've found a really great service. And then, as I build this network and uh, provide value through this first service, then I'm able to bring in so many other different products. So it's like making different streams of income.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways that you can go about it, no matter what you're interested in.
Yeah, and you spend, we'll say, an hour or two every day for a year working on it, and then that's something that's set in place is going to give you passive income for years to come.
Enough uh, just within a year to get you outside of the job mindset.
Right.
And once you really start to let go of that, that's when the sky's the limit. You could go
Absolutely.
so many different ways. Um, how did you get into affiliate marketing?
Affiliate marketing, I was originally into stocks, and I found Tim Sykes, who was my big mentor on YouTube and everything. And then just really looking on YouTube for different mentors like him, I think I came across the Deadbeat Super affiliate, and he started talking about affiliate marketing. And I bought one of his courses. Another person was Ty Lopez. You see his ads everywhere. So I'm
That's
watching these type of videos. So they're targeting somebody like me with advertisements to his videos.
Mhm.
So I started seeing all these people, and I realized like the sky's the limit online. You can really make money doing whatever. There's a million different ways.
There's so many different ways.
Yeah, so I got into affiliate marketing. He made it sound great. It's a form of passive income. And at the time, I didn't know a lot about passive income, so that was really my introduction to everything. And it's something that I would want to do. Like
Mhm.
the idea of building a website, a blog site for a year, and then having that is something that's going to continually earn you money, and
Mhm.
it could earn you a lot of money if you do it right,
Yeah.
and you're doing something you're passionate about. So even if you do that for a year and you build up your site and you're making a decent amount of income off of it, that's going to be enough to let you quit your job. And instead of working 40 or 60 hours a week at your job, you could work 40 or 60 hours a week at what you want to do and scale it up.
Mhm.
So it's basically, at first you just got to find something that could basically like break the chain, break you free,
Mhm.
free from the 9 to 5 lifestyle, coming home exhausted.
Yeah, especially like if you have a kid or like something like
Yeah,
that.
like right now I have a 2-year-old daughter.
Exactly. So you're in a whole different struggle than I am, and you've it's crazy because you've developed your business knowledge and ways about making passive income differently than me. Like how I really got into it was also Ty Lopez. The first thing that I ever saw of him, like most people in the world, was his "Here in My Garage"
Yeah,
video
yeah, that was the one I saw.
for the 67 steps, and that was like the first online course that I've ever bought. And $67, like why not?
Yeah,
And I didn't see anybody else like as interesting as him, and like saying like hey, here's this Ferrari or whatever, but like
here's my books.
this
This is
is
what I
how I
like
got
more.
it.
Yeah,
Which all comes down to mindset. And I don't know, then like time went on, and uh, I really realized like you know helping small businesses attract customers through social media is possible as well, and that was mainly through Ty Lopez as well. Um,
it's social media marketing
yeah,
agency.
so you could use marketing for a multitude of ways to provide value for people or businesses.
It's like a skill. Once you learn it, once you learn marketing, you could apply it to anything,
To
real
anything.
estate, what you want to do, what I want to do,
Yep,
really anything. So
exactly.
it's just about at first developing the marketing skill, the marketing personality, the salesman personality, and once you learn that, you could apply it to whatever you want to do, whatever
Right.
you're passionate about.
But then, at the same time as building these skills and these new habits, you also realize that you have to break down a lot of old limiting beliefs and
Yes.
negative habits that don't no longer serve you.
Right.
Um,
Even a lot of friends and people around you.
that's another thing, exactly, because uh, you know, for the most part, where we grew up in like lower middle class, um, so a lot of people don't think that they could get out of like the little rat race
Yeah,
that
the
they're
rat
in,
race.
and so yeah, you definitely need to break away from negative people who aren't doing things that are adding value to their lives.
Right. Like it's a lot of everybody around here just they want to hustle, they want quick money.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people are in that mind state, or they're just happy where they are. They're happy working their job, coming home,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't understand that there's much more in life. Like they have so much more potential, and that's the type of people we were surrounded around growing up. So if it weren't for the internet, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have come across anybody,
No.
and like we would probably be stuck in that mindset.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, as I look back on it, it wasn't so much the internet that really started helping me learn personal development. I was telling you this before. The first thing that really brought me into personal development was when I was about 19. A buddy of mine had brought a network marketing opportunity to me. So, network marketing, if you don't know about that, that's another way that you can make kind of passive income, um, which is basically you're an affiliate for a company. You're able to sell their products and get a commission for it. It's kind of like in person, like affiliate marketing, and I was 19 and I didn't know anything about business or anything like that, so I just went out and was doing what I call like cutthroat marketing now, like the type of marketing that's like, hey, here's my shit, buy my shit,
Yeah,
like this is why
yeah.
I'm so good
Yep.
and like so different, and I'm gonna make you a millionaire. But then all that did was ruin my relationships.
To a lot of people. A
Yeah,
lot of people just think that you're trying to scam them
scam
or
them.
getting them into something bad.
But the
When in
best thing that I got out of that, in reality, I'm just trying to help them.
yeah,
But the best thing that I got out of network marketing was personal development. That's how I got into Robert Kiyosaki and like books like How to Win Friends and Influence People,
yeah, it's a good one.
and just so many different books like that. You know, you got to really understand how people work, and that's why I think like marketing is such a good uh, area to first get into, because you really start to understand people and how to motivate and influence them.
Right. What draws me to it, besides the money, of course, is like the whole psychology aspect of it. Like you have to understand human psychology and their behaviors, what makes them want to buy something,
Mm-hmm.
and that's really what caught my attention at first, and obviously the money.
Yeah.
But like you said, with personal development books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, it teaches you deep into that. There's a lot of other books I can't think of off the top of my head that share a similar message. So
Tony Robbins.
yeah, Tony Robbins.
Yeah, a good example. I know you're really into him. Tony
Yeah.
Robbins is a really good example of, you know, uh, brand personality that really focuses on providing value for people,
Right.
trying to help their problems, help them solve their problems. That's why I love Gary Vaynerchuk too. Because and it's so weird how like through the evolution of like different books that you read, like your mindset changes. Like
Yeah.
early
Absolutely.
on, like I was really into law of attraction, and I think we were talking about this the other day. Um, and this is definitely a niche that I want to hit in the market. A lot of people who get into law of attraction understand like my mindset is everything, and I could create so much. I have so much potential,
Hmm.
but then they just think it's going to come to them without.
Yeah, they
like,
missed the major part of it.
exactly.
Which a lot of the books on the law of attraction don't teach
Don't
that.
teach that.
Yeah.
The industrious part and the hard work aspect. That's why I like Gary Vee so much,
Yes.
because he has a good balance of like hard work, patience, but also kindness, because there's this whole social revolution happening within business. Business has to be transparent now
Yep.
in order to really.
And that's thanks to social media.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So,
Not just in business, like
in life.
in life,
Everything.
politics,
Yeah.
social justice. Because we have cameras on us all the time, like
Yeah, literally
everybody's
everywhere.
character is more accountable.
Yep. Which is, a lot of people want to look at it as a bad thing, but it's a good thing. And if you don't think it's a good thing, it's happening either way.
Yeah.
So you might as well, not let it bother you.
Yeah, that's another thing with mindset. Like, the reason that you need to get away from your old limiting beliefs and everybody else who, is still going to carry those is because it's literally the difference between like you having the most amazing life that you could have and you living in what's comparable to hell in some cases. Like, if you think that you could never possibly like be wealthy or financially free, that automatically just stops you from ever trying.
Right. Yeah, that's the biggest limiting belief people have is just the fear of trying, because it's basically the fear of failure. And to be an entrepreneur and to succeed like that, you have to be willing to accept failure, to look forward to it, because that's how you grow.
That's how you learn.
Yeah.
That's how you learn.
And that's a
not to
big
do.
thing that Gary Vee talks about. He loves his failures.
Mhm.
He knows that it's a teaching.
Not only that, he literally like gets off on being the underdog, being
Yeah,
the one who's
yes.
not being rooted for, because he's gonna fucking show you.
Yeah.
And-
Well, he wants to buy the Jets, the New York Jets. One of the most rooted against football teams in NFL.
And he's gonna make them powerhouse.
Yeah.
I cannot
Oh
even.
yeah, absolutely.
It's really crazy, man. Like, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, hell, even like a year ago or 2 years ago.
2 years ago, we'll say.
Yeah, 2 years ago, like I would never even imagine like having the mindset that I have now.
I
Not
know.
to say that I've created like all this abundance or like that I'm financially free, but like it's really crazy how you could tell like how your mindset and your habits are
Right.
shifting and how you see the little results compounding.
It's not even about gaining abundance. It's about having the mindset that you realize you already have abundance in life.
Mhm.
You have a roof over your head, you have a car, you have a job, we have all these, great things. We have all the knowledge we have. So it's
Yeah.
like once you learn to appreciate the things you have and how good of a spot you're in no matter what's going on,
You get
that's
more
when-
things to appreciate.
right, that's when you start growing as a person. That's when more good starts coming to you.
Mhm.
You're like a magnet, If you're thinking about all the good in life, then
And
you're going to
magnet.
produce more good in your life.
Mhm.
That's a
Definitely.
But you have to be willing to change and willing to sacrifice,
Mhm.
which is the hardest part of everything.
Sacrifice.
Yeah,
Exactly.
being willing to sacrifice.
Mhm. Because the old ideas and habits that you have, you feel like they're a part of you, and once you like, it feels like dying in a sense. Like
Yeah.
like when your ego starts to let go of like what it no longer is anymore, and
Right.
that's like what scares people the most from trying. And
I mean, think about us when we used to hang out 4 years ago, always with a group of friends, going out to party and do everything.
Yep.
Like, now we don't surround ourselves with people like that anymore.
Mhm.
Not like going to parties, going out, drinking, smoking every day, stuff like that.
Now I just want to continually add value to myself
Right.
and
And
skills.
we're 23, 24 years old, and people look at us like weirdos. Everybody our age is like, all right, like what are they doing?
Yeah.
In 5, 6 years down the line, it's gonna we're gonna be
We're all
looking.
going to be left with the results of what
Right.
we've been doing.
Yep. Like I heard a good quote the other day. It said, "A year from today, you're gonna wish you started today. A year from now, you're gonna wish you started today." Something like that.
My favorite quote is actually a really popular quote that Ty Lopez's perpetuates too. In 5 years, what is it? I haven't said it in so long. Basically, just what I just said, but in 5 years, like you'll be the result of what
Yeah.
you're feeding your mind today. I think
Exactly.
it is that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that in a video you made.
Hmm.
How if you're not programming your brain, somebody else is,
Yeah. That
which
was
is a big thing that a lot of people
exactly.
need to realize.
Yeah. A lot. Alongside um, just you know you not making a lot of money um, from your 9 to 5 job. Um, you're making it so someone else is telling you how much value your time is, like, per
Right.
hour.
How much an hour of your life is worth,
Hmm.
literally. And I don't know.
It's really crazy,
Yeah.
but you know now we're able to do so many different things. There's literally so many different ways that you could, uh, you know, go about creating a good life.
Right.
Hmm.
But the thing is, you have to do it. Like, there's so many distractions. At the same time, there's all this great technology and all, but there's so many distractions. There's Facebook. It could,
Well,
Twitter, Instagram.
yeah, those could be distractions if you have to treat these tools just like how we're saying, like, you have to weed out the people in your life who aren't bringing good value. You have to weed out the people in your social media circle who aren't doing that, because
Right.
if you're opening up, and you are, because everybody is opening your phone up fucking 30 times a
Yeah.
day to go
30
through
times an hour at
to
that.
scroll through your social media, and you're just seeing a bunch of bullshit, like,
Yeah.
that you're feeding your mind that, like,
It's bullshit that'll keep you occupied.
Mhm.
That's their job, to keep you on their channel looking at their content.
and
So,
and once you stop feeding your mind with that stuff, and you start feeding your mind with people who are providing amazing value, like, I find myself scrolling through social media less, because, like, they're all telling you the same message. They're telling you, go out there and do it.
yeah, get off social
Get off
media.
of social media and
What are you
fucking go
reading
do
this
it.
for?
And then, I'm always just left with that, looking back at, reflecting at me.
Right. Yeah. That's something I have to do. Is, like, try to eliminate social media. Use it only as a tool.
Hmm.
Like, Facebook is probably the best marketing tool out there right now, by a long shot.
Yeah.
It's probably outdoing Google right now. Definitely outdoing anything else.
Hmm.
Probably outdoing television, to be honest.
Well, yeah. That's what they were talking about in the Joe Rogan interview.
Yeah.
Television is dying. Like, there's,
For good reasons.
they t- they're broadcasting to, so many different people, so many different personalities, that they have to try to market towards what they think is the consensus of that person,
Right.
those personalities. So even if, like, they recorded a bunch of, you know stuff, of what these people are saying or whatever, they always condense it down to the most controversial things, and, like, just put it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Which is what happened to Jordan Peterson.
Exactly. And, with Facebook, you're able to directly target people, so you don't have to do that anymore. We could make long form podcasts where people are actually interested in it, and,
Yes.
you don't have to have just a 20-minute or half an hour TV show.
Even a 5-minute segment on a TV show.
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes of commercials in between.
Definitely.
So,
No, it's really crazy, but I mean, that's pretty much all that I wanted to say in this podcast, I guess.
yeah. Yeah, just like a base introduction
Mhm.
of what we're going to be talking about on future shows, going more in depth
Yeah.
in things that we touched on.
And as we continually build our own personal brands, we'll definitely link, our personal channels in
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
these podcasts, so you could figure out what we're doing, if you're interested, and see the different ways that we're developing. But thank you for watching,
Yep.
and we'll
Make
see you
sure to
next time.
subscribe. We're going to be coming out with more very soon.
All right, catch you later.